your whole social media journey. You're gonna have your seasons where views are gonna go down. You're trying to figure out what's next. It's like, do people even care about me anymore? If you're gonna give up every time there's a dip, you're never gonna get to the level you wanna get to.
Who's watching your content? Is it people the same age as you? Is it people older than you, younger than you? Know your demographic. What do they think? What time are they most active on social media? You have to know all of the elements that goes into your formula and niching down into that.
So what you did then in that season worked, but now I have to actually give my audience like a whole new type of content with a baby. You're not gonna keep giving a baby food for forever. Eventually you have to evolve their diet. That's how we have to treat our audience. As they're sticking with us longer, we have to give our audience something new.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Growing Painz podcast, where we talk about business and the life of a younger adult. It's me, Travion.
It's your girl, Yanni.
Hey, y'all, this is Jada.
She literally just put some pants away like 2 seconds ago. I
Why
had to put you out there.
Tell my business.
Because I just show you a hardworking black woman.
Anyways.
You don't want people to know you're a hardworking black woman? The independent, what's the phrase for your brand? For the standout woman?
For the women that make a statement.
Nor should change their voice.
Okay, so right now, it's a lot of stuff going on in the social media world. A lot. And we got TikTok being banned. Threads is getting popular.
Do y'all use Threads?
No.
I downloaded it, but I use it for like 3 seconds.
You know what I feel about Threads? I just feel as though Threads and Twitter, I don't really thrive in, because I feel as though my sense of humor can be very, I don't know, it don't resonate with through like
I think you do good
Twitter.
on Twitter, especially Black Twitter.
Yeah, Black Twitter.
No, I don't know. I just be getting anxiety, especially I just be feeling like I'm talking to myself.
Black Twitter be ruthless.
It'd be funny.
It'd be funny, but they be ruthless.
Yeah, especially if they ganging up on somebody, they're gonna tear them alive.
I think you would be good on Twitter. You're funny, bro.
I don't know. I just get so much anxiety going on Twitter, like wanting to talk and say how I really feel on Twitter and Threads. Because when it just be getting no likes and stuff, I just be like,
you can't look at the likes.
Talking to yourself.
You have to keep doing what you do.
I haven't been on Twitter in so long.
Yeah,
but when I did go on Threads, I did get a few good engagement. People were like, yo, this is funny.
Yeah, I used Threads for 3 seconds, and I only used
3
TikTok.
seconds.
Yeah, I used Twitter back in high school, but I deleted it because I don't like the stuff people be reposting and stuff.
Yeah, because like it don't show just what you want to see.
and I don't like that.
Other people's stuff, and people be posting a lot of stuff on there, reposting.
Yeah, so I don't use Twitter no more.
Yeah, I'll try Threads, but Twitter, I'm just not here for it because of that reason of what you said.
You don't use Twitter?
Y'all never?
Threads.
Well, you say you used it. What about you? You never used it?
I used to be on there, but I just used to watch. When I was on Twitter, that was in high school, but that's when I was very like self-conscious, like care so much about what people think that.
That's why I don't go.
Yeah, it was really during a time where I cared so much about like, are people gonna think it's lame if I tweet this or that type of stuff? And so, yeah,
that's real.
Yeah, so I would be on Twitter, but just to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know, some stuff I would put like, I remember I put this picture up of me and my friend. Y'all don't remember this trend because y'all were probably like 1 year old.
What was the trend?
But there's this trend, Zell. Do you remember it? On Twitter, people posting pictures of them hanging off of doors.
What?
Yeah,
At the top?
So yeah,
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and so I have a picture like that on my Twitter of me hanging off a door and my friend taking a picture.
I remember that.
But yeah.
Okay. And as for TikTok getting banned, they've been saying that for 5 years now.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe it. Because literally right before they made the announcement, I was like, bro, y'all said that less than a couple months ago, and it's still not going.
I was literally I remember being in school, them talking about TikTok was getting banned.
No, they haven't.
I think it has. Yeah,
they've not been talking about it.
They've been talking about
Trump
it for
been
that
trying
long.
to take it down. Everybody been trying to take it down, but I feel as though TikTok is just too powerful of an app, and it adds so much value, not only in the sense of entertainment, but it also adds value, and you could connect with all different ages. I'll be seeing moms post something about their kids and that'll go viral.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing kids and grandmas, and like, you know, grandmas get famous off of just posting, and then people connect with them and stuff like that. So I feel as though TikTok is a powerful app, and you can't really you can't really take that stuff down. You can't take it away.
I agree. I feel like TikTok is very powerful. I like how you can be transparent on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is one of the apps where they don't filter you as much. Like, there's some things you could search up on Instagram and YouTube, and on TikTok you're going to get a whole different a whole different type of results. Like, I remember seeing somebody do like a social experiment where they were searching up like depression and anxiety on TikTok, on Instagram and YouTube, and like, it was very surface level information coming up. But when they put it on TikTok, it was a lot of videos going in deep dive on how to, you know, overcome and all this stuff. So I feel like TikTok is a very useful tool. But it's all based off how you use it too.
Yeah, for
and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the government is trying to limit the resources we have, because, you know, on TikTok they're talking about things that's going on in other countries and wars, and people showing point of views of wars that's going on that they're not showing, that they're limiting on other apps. So I feel like that's why they're trying to ban it, because, you know, they don't have control over the app. It's a Chinese owned app.
But that's the main thing. My bad. You wanted to say something?
Well, that was really all I was going to say. I think it has to do with control and even money. Like, TikTok controls, or not even controls, but is involved in so much of, like, I feel like U.S. culture now, and U.S. has no hand in it. Like, it's not a U.S. owned company. So I feel like that's why, or that plays a part as well.
Yeah, for sure. I feel as though with TikTok having so much power, or having so much of a influence on people in the U.S., being that the U.S. don't have their hands on it, or don't have control to what is being produced on that app, they now feel as though, well, if we can't have control over it, then our citizens can't have access to it.
Did y'all?
So it's just like, that's what it is.
Yeah. Did y'all know that the owner of TikTok, they don't let their child use the app? Y'all knew that? How do y'all feel about that?
I feel as though most people do that with whatever product they have, being that they know it's not a good product, or they know that it's not productive, they won't let their kids consume it. We talked about that previously.
Yeah, but
like a person that owns a soda company, is it gonna let their kids drink all that soda? Or I've heard Cardi B say she doesn't let her kids listen to her music and stuff like that.
For sure.
So I don't know. I guess I get it though. I mean, TikTok may not be the best for kids, because you could get exposed to a lot.
Real quick. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Tap in.
Tap in, twin. Take a 5-second break and go subscribe.
Exactly. We got so much on our channel, y'all. We got blogs, we got challenges, we got silent library, we got everything. So what are you doing? Like,
what are you
go
doing?
Subscribe right now.
What are you doing?
Go
subscribe.
Stand on business. Go stand on business.
Stand on business,
Let's get back into the episode.
Not even that. The app, all of these platforms have different features that collect your data, that is pushing more of the stuff that they see you indulging in. They're pushing it in front of you. And so they know if their kids are on that app and consuming the things, and the app is collecting the data from what they're consuming, they know that that's a mind game, because the overall goal for a lot of these apps are to keep you on the app for as long as they can. That's why when you get on TikTok, sometimes if you're just chilling, you'll get into the point of just being on the app for hours, and time is just passing by. And it's just because they're showing you every little thing that you want, and you're getting that dopamine from just commenting on stuff, seeing people's comments, seeing the posts that you really like. I remember during the Renaissance tour, Beyonce had was going on tour, and I like one thing with the little Uzi dance that she was doing. And literally for months straight, I could not get that woman off my TikTok. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, I like that one post and it just went from there. Like, I liked it. Then I liked some of the comments that was funny. And then I just left it. And the whole time she was on tour, that junk was just on my feed.
That's how it be. Like, I like one video of somebody doing a Chipotle mukbang. Now my whole For You page filled with that.
So I feel as though these apps, they know what they're doing, but I don't think TikTok is going to get banned. It's just too powerful of an app. And as you said, they showing stuff in other countries, and that's why they don't want us to really
agree. Okay. Well, speaking of social medias, what has y'all social media journey been? Because we've all had our own wins and successes in social media. Posts going viral, getting a lot of followers, subscribers, whatever. So what has y'all experience been for different wins y'all gotten or growing y'all platforms?
For sure.
Y'all don't want to answer?
No, I'm thinking. I know my social media experience has been, for YouTube, it's been successful. As far as Instagram and other platforms, TikTok, I never really been consistent on it. YouTube, I have built like an audience on there where people still decide to watch, or, you know, I know how to market myself to get people to go and watch the video and stuff. So I do believe on YouTube, and it's weird because on YouTube, I can be fully myself and not care about who watches it. And I guess that's because you can't see the views. But on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, I'm like a little more self-conscious about what I post on there, or how goofy or like how much of myself am I being, because I can see the people in my stories and stuff like that. So as far as the growth on Instagram, I know I went through a 2-year period of just not being active or not using Instagram as a tool, just because I was going through a depression phase. And so, yeah, there was a point in time where I had the followers that I have now on Instagram was through me doing a lot of funny videos back at school, like dancing in my room, getting in trouble on my like platform, posting Instagram posts. So that's how I got like up to like 3,000 followers. And then when we started the podcast, that was from doing the podcast, getting back on YouTube, promoting, showing what I'm doing, the hot seat, all of that stuff. It just took me to another 1,000, and now I'm trying to figure out how to grow from there. As far as my business page, I did a lot of promo in the beginning stages of my business, but again, as that depression phase went on, then my business was just running through word of mouth. So I had gained 2,000 followers within like the first couple of months of doing graphics and stuff, and then after, I just kind of never promoted on there. So it's been like a uphill battle, but with YouTube, that was the most consistent I've been.
So I have a question. With you getting like all these followers, we know like when you get the followers is what you do after you get the followers and views too. So what do you do? Like change your strategy up after you get the followers, or like what do you do to maintain them, you know? So
one thing I do well in order to maintain the engagement in my posts and stuff, if I see people liking and I don't know that I don't see them on my feed a lot, I'll go through my likes and just start liking people's stuff or commenting back to them. And I know I do really well on all platforms with that, trying to comment back to people, let them know that I see you commenting. I appreciate you for commenting. On my stories, I'll try to post my first story on Instagram. I'll try to make that the most engaging story post, so that way it'll lead people to watch the rest. With some other stuff I do, I swipe up on people's DMs, stuff like that, to get people to stay engaged and let them know I'm not just looking for you to engage in my stuff, but if I'm following you, then I'll engage in your stuff. And then as far as following people, I'm learning to be a little more strategic about who I'm following, because I don't think everybody deserves a follow back. Like even, you know, people that I support and, you know, who have great things going on, I don't expect them to follow me back just because I'm following them. So that's like a thing for me. And that's a few things that I would say that grows my platform. Okay. Yeah. Or stay engaged.
Yeah. To answer, I guess, the first question about experience on social media, I think that I've had potential to do well on different platforms, but I've just been like picky or like not motivated to take advantage of momentum when it happens, except for like with Instagram. But like Facebook, I have like my Facebook group that has the 2,000 subscribers. It's like if I really got dedicated, I could really grow that.
Grow that joint up.
Yeah. Even my YouTube, most of my videos are at least in the thousands for views, and my subscribers keep going up, but I haven't posted in more than a year. But it's like, even with that, if I really was like, okay, I'm gonna go all in, I really feel like that could grow too. And even with TikTok, I had one video do good, and then I like fell off, and then sometimes I try and get back going, but I just don't like stay, you know, on top of things. But with Instagram, I'm trying to be different with that. Just because I think this is the most growth I've seen on any platform for me. And so I'm trying to like be present there. But I do feel like if I were to just be like a social media mogul type of person, I could like really go hard on all platforms. But that's just a lot. Like, I feel like it's a lot.
So that's why you don't, because you feel like it's a lot?
In my head, I feel like it all requires like different content.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, okay, even people say you could take your reels from Instagram and just put them on TikTok, but I don't think that's the same, because TikTok is more organic. They want to, they really just want to have a conversation with you for real, or see some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, but it's more organic. What I put on Instagram is not necessarily organic. Even my storytelling videos, it's not just me sitting in front of a camera. It's more so like I edit an actual like video, you know, like it's like some type of production, I guess, goes into it into a sense.
But I feel like that would do well on TikTok. People like storytelling videos.
But I feel like because it's not like
organic, like it's not.
You sitting in front of the camera, right?
Yes.
But you're still storytelling. There's so many videos I watch where people will tell a story of them cooking, like story. Let me tell y'all a story on the time my man would do. She's just like cooking. Yeah. Like, you should try it out like for a week.
True.
And see.
For sure. So I think that's been my thing. And even YouTube, I've really just done tutorials on there, and then I have like videos where I like used to talk about God and stuff. And so it's like all different. So in my head, it's like, oh, I'm creating like different types of content for all these platforms, when in my head it's easier to just stick with, I guess, one type of content on one platform. But it would be nice to do more. And then even my sewing group, or the Facebook group, that's also like more so about teaching as well. So yeah, just trying to like, if I did do everything, it's just trying to figure out how to make it easier on myself and not produce 50 different types of content, like literally different styles, you know?
Yeah.
I get it.
For
so out of all the content you have posted, because you know your videos do be going viral, what type of content pieces do you notice that do well for like somebody that's trying to figure out like the types of content they should post for their brand?
I would say motivational does really well. Get ready with me, or like videos getting dressed. Something along with that. Those do really well. And for a while, I think it's always been motivational stuff though. Like the fact that I've been doing what I've been doing for so long, people have always liked to hear about the journey, whether it was just like I'm only showing pictures, or now that I'm doing voiceovers, now I'm actually talking about it in my videos. Or even if I just choose like a motivational, like trending sound, and it has like a little speech in the background, and I'm like putting videos, those do really well. So yeah, that, and just actually showing my outfits. Yeah, that stuff does really, really good.
Okay,
for
period.
Sure.
For me, my social media journey. Okay, so I started like I always, would put a phone up and record record videos of me talking and stuff like that. But okay, so I really started taking social media more seriously in 2020 when I had my lash brand, because I realized, okay, people in my school are buying, but I need other people to buy too. So, I would post content here and there on Instagram. Oh, and I used to have a Finsta. So I feel like that's me doing a little content. I used to post stuff on my little Finsta or whatever.
What's the name of it?
It's deleted. Y'all not but a bullet, this me on me. But yeah, so when I first started my lash brand, I started like really studying content more. Like I was like, okay, bet repurposed content does good. So I started, pulling videos of, babies wearing lashes, or like a lash on a little dog, or, just repurposing stuff. So I was like, okay, bet that works. And then I was like, okay, but they still need to see how lashes look on the people. So then I'm like, okay, I need to take videos of me. So yeah, that's when I started taking content more seriously. And then in that year, I also posted on YouTube. It's crazy because the video that has the most views was my first video. I guess because everybody was reposting it. Yeah, and it was just like a little get to know me video. I think that's what it was. Yeah, a little get to know. I was acting so ghetto in that video. Oh my gosh.
That was your Baltimorean.
Yes.
You, dude.
You was doing all the ooze in that video.
All the ooze. Why you say that like a Baltimore?
Yo, I am not from Baltimore, bruh.
Yes, you are,
No,
Yanni.
God.
You
Miss
say
Silver Spring so
I'm
bad.
Silver Spring.
15 minutes away.
Bro, 30. You're missing a few minutes.
We're 30 minutes from home.
Okay,
Exactly.
but we're not from there. If a person
But
is
you
born
live there.
in McDonough, they're not going to say they're from Lithonia. They're going to say they're from McDonough.
You're going to get the same Atlanta culture though, bruh.
Every time.
No, but that's the thing.
So you was never in Baltimore.
I didn't say that.
But if you was always there.
I wasn't always there.
Yanni, you
Bro,
were like 5 minutes away from Baltimore.
Literally has its own culture. Like the way they talk in Baltimore and act in Baltimore.
You talk like a Baltimorean.
No, I don't. Y'all
You
just
trying to hide it now.
Exactly. You be trying to hide it
in
like
that
you
video,
a
I never had it.
Y'all go watch Yanni's Get to Know Me video, that first video on her page. It gives Baltimore.
For sure.
It gives
Y'all just
DMV.
say okay, maybe DMV, but not Baltimore.
It do. Very
It
much
gives.
Baltimore.
Anyways, back to my story. So yeah, I posted on YouTube that year. Then I was like, okay, babe, I'm gonna get my YouTube bag. Then I started posting on YouTube that year. But then I was like, okay, I gotta be consistent because I wasn't consistent. So it's being consistent on YouTube has been patchy from 2020 all the way up until now. Like I'm still trying to work on my consistency on there and still trying to find my like aesthetic on TikTok, like how I want my videos, how I want to do my titles, how I want to do my thumbnails and stuff like that, and also how to promote it. As for Instagram, I started doing like inspirational content of me like talking in like 2022. I remember the first time I posted my first video, I was so like scared. Jada, your alarm is going off.
You're interrupting the episode. Jada.
Exactly. Okay, sorry y'all. But I started posting inspirational videos on, is this long? My story kind of long. I'm sorry y'all. But I got to give them the deets.
We asked about how your
Journey has been and I'm talking about it.
Okay.
She said the whole journey.
I don't do this
Every
when you
step I
talking.
I didn't say anything. You the one who brought it up. So I just
You agreed.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, anyways, back to my story, y'all. Sorry, this is going to be a little long. But so I started posting inspirational content in 2022 because I'm like, okay, I got this little gift or whatever, let me use it. So then, I would just talk and like pour into people online, and I would post those dang near every day. And then 2023 comes around. Then I'm like, okay, I got to be consistent on Wise Label. So then I was trying to figure out what something I could do on my Wise Label page that would do well. And I remember I was just praying about it, and then God put it on my heart to do public interviews. So then I started doing public interviews for like dang near the whole year, 2023, all of 2023, and the last half of 2022, and Yeah, I would do public interviews. I would go out, ask people 5 minutes with God. No, 5 minutes with God or $5 million. That did really well.
To the point people start stealing that joint.
Exactly. Like, y'all got it for me, but it's okay. But yeah, so then I would ask people that did really well. And then I was asking people, if you could ask God one question, what would you ask? I kind of forgot, but I think if you could ask God a question, what would you ask him? And then I asked this one guy, shout out to Trell CEO. Wait, is that Trell CEO?
Trell
Okay,
CEO.
amen. Shout out to Trell's. That was my first time meeting him too. That John did well as well too.
Two.
You heard that?
Yeah,
She said to you.
that did well as well. And then yeah, that like people just been posting it. Then move forward. Now I don't do public interviews anymore. What do? I'm getting it. What?
Go ahead.
I don't do public interviews anymore, but I'm getting in my like short form, my short film bag. So y'all definitely stay tapped in my wisely when I'm gonna start doing that. But yeah. And now on my main page, I kind of do like these videos where I just put text and like add a little inspirational sound in the back.
So you think you're done with public interviews?
Yeah, I feel like I'm done doing it in like bulk recording, but if God puts it on my heart to ask somebody a question or something like that, then I'll do that. But as far as me just going out getting public interviews, I'm not doing that.
I'll see. Oh,
I was gonna say, and you've still been successful without doing the public interviews, because the back picture, like, oh, I saw this shirt, and that viral piece of content you've been doing.
Praise God.
I'll say that's one thing about content, though, is that it does have to continue to evolve. Sometimes people will say, oh, if something is successful, you do something, it's successful, it works. Oh, just keep doing that thing. But I don't think that's how it works. I think that once you reach that success, you can keep doing that thing for a little bit. But low key, you have to start already thinking about your next idea. Like, because one, you experienced this as well. When you started doing that thing and it became successful, your public interviews, your questions, what happened? People started copying that question. So we can't ever, I feel like, just get stuck in this mindset of, when it comes to anything, not even just content creation. Oh, once I do something successful, I'm going to just keep doing that one thing and it'll forever work. Even like with David in Social Proof. Like, he evolved into doing hot seat, So it's just like, we have to think ahead. Even something I was disappointed in myself about was, in December, God already had told me my next content ideas. I did not do them. And now my content has slowed down, or like engagement and stuff like that. And I'm trying to rebuild it up and get back, or not even get back into doing that thing, but starting to do the ideas that God showed me in December. And so it's just like, okay, yes, what you did then in that season worked, but now I'm noticing I have to actually give my audience like a whole new type of content. You could think of it like with a baby. You're not going to keep giving a baby food for forever. Eventually you have to evolve their diet. You have to give them more. They can't just keep eating the same thing over and over. So that's how we have to treat our audience. Like, when our audience found us, we were giving them a certain type of diet. But now as they're getting, as they're sticking with us longer, we can't just keep giving giving them that same thing. We have to give our audience something new. And so I would say that's something that I'm really like working on right now.
Ooh, that is so good. And that's so true too, because it's like, even if we look at, even like B. Simone, she used to do skits and stuff like that. And now she's a podcaster. Or Kai Cenat, he used to do skits. He used to do his own like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Now he's a whole streamer. Like, a lot of things that people started off doing, they evolved to something else. And that doesn't mean like change everything you do. Just figure out how you can do it in a different way. Like, for me, I still talk about God. I still pour into people. I just don't do it in public interviews, or even for my main. I still talk about God. I still pour into people, but I just don't talk to the camera. I do it in another way. Wise label, I don't do public interviews, but now I'm like, okay, evolving. Okay, what's something else I can do that's fresh, but the same thing? So don't get that confused. Where she's not saying like, okay, now go talk about this all the way over here after you already built an audience that like this over here. She's just saying, figure out another like way you could do that right here.
Exactly.
I think the main thing with content is learning to know who your target audience is and be able to feed them exactly what you've been feeding them, the same purpose of content, be intentional about that, but just the way that it looks is different. So for example, when I think of the content creators that I watch, Queen and Clarence, they did a lot of like pranks and challenges and stuff on each other, but now they're getting older and they're just like, we don't want to do that stuff anymore. De'Ara, when she was doing the whole couples things with De'Ara and Ken, it's like she's done evolved into this whole new brand and been able to sustain the same exact audience, but just now it looks different. Now it's just her. Now she's showing you more of who De'Ara is aside from just being in a relationship with somebody. Who's some other content creators?
Chai the Greatest.
Chai or Shy? Chai.
Shy.
Yeah, Shy. Okay, cool. Yeah, Shy. She used to do pranks and stuff too. Now she show her faith. Now she be on Snapchat showing like, I'm just a regular person. And she's not regular, but just saying like, I'm living the same lives that you guys live. I go through the same struggles that you guys go through. And she's a great storyteller. And she has pivoted. She started off, doing just the dances and stuff like that. Then she went into doing pranks and stuff on YouTube. Now she's on Snapchat showing her faith and showing how she's she does makeup.
Yeah, she's like an esthetician.
Yeah, she's an esthetician. So she does a lot of skincare and her skin is really, really clear. And she's showing people, this is what I do. I go to school for this. DDG, he has went back and forth. Like he done took over the whole YouTube. Then he got into music and now he's getting back into YouTube and dominated Snapchat. And what you said about the whole Snapchat thing, when DDG had went to a different state and then he had hid the shoe boxes, it's like he's doing stuff like that in order to keep people engaged. And that's what you have to do with your audience, is keep them engaged, provide them with the stuff that they want, but also the formatting of it is a little bit different. And the last thing I'll say is like, some of the people who were doing like B. Simone, she was doing Baby Girl TV. She started a podcast. Queen, she was writing songs and her music and stuff. And then she strayed away from YouTube and all of that. And the way she came back was by starting her own podcast. So it all looks different. People may get into radio shows or different things like that in order to be able to serve to their audience. They still serving who they are, but it just looks different.
Hey y'all, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
Hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GPCREW to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're going to get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
It's going to look different. And that's what everything should evolve. We evolve as people, so your craft should evolve as well. You can tell you can tell if you're evolving or not based off of your craft. Yeah. So if you're still doing the craft the same way you did when you first started, that's a sign that you are not growing in what you do. Because like everything should be growing from as a baby to being an adult. Yeah. So that
reminds me of Summerella. Like, she knows how to go viral. Like her biggest video right now is the whole thing with the big back. when she had put the pillows in her back and was singing Maxwell. Like, Summerella knows how to go viral. She could have washed out with the rest of the people who was on Vine, but she literally came up off of Vine. The girl who'd be like, my best friend, Tokyo Vanity. Like she done pivoted and went to a different direction. Some other content creators, just hilarious. All of those kind of people, Pretty V, Desi Banks, all of them people, King Batch, he done transformed his whole platform and he has millions of followers and he's been able to still thrive, going from quick little 10-second videos on Vine to now doing whole skits and stuff and playing roles in movies and all of that stuff. So, and that's one thing that I realized with me, I remember going through that depression phase, and as I came back with the podcast and doing stuff with y'all, I realized like, oh, it looks a lot different from when I started and I was doing public interviews, like entertainment videos. I'm not even that same person that I was. So I could have just went back to doing public interviews or asking world star hip hop questions. But it really took me some time to figure out what did I want to do. The one thing that helped was the podcast, because I was able to then post clips so people can know, oh, this is who he is now. He's not like, he's found a more mature side of himself. He's still funny and stuff like that, but he's found a more evolved self. And even now, I feel very in tune with the direction that I'm going in. Like everything has to be creative. Everything has to stand out. Everything has to reach the standard of just creativity, and just not doing the average thing. I remember before just posting pictures last year, and it's like, okay, it's cool, but it's not really grabbing people's attention. And then the first time that we really birthed a new direction, and I say we because like you were a part of that, Yanni, is when I had the idea of doing like the Spider-Man kind of thing. And then I was like, oh, let's do it. And then we took the pictures and stuff, and it was like, oh, this is the new direction. Like that was my first post in a while that had got like a lot of engagement, a lot of people commenting and stuff. And I was like, this is the new direction. And I remember before I was struggling with like how to still show like a comedic side of myself and show like my craft and stuff. And I was really struggling with that for a long time until I found this new direction. I was like, this is it. Like, this is the new direction. Show people how creative you are, because the stuff started to get so like combined with just a podcast where people were only asking me about the podcast. And I wanted to think, what is a way to include I'm still me even without the podcast in with it still. And so once I did that, it just made things run like a lot smoother. When people come up to me, they talk to me about how dope like my graphic design business is and stuff like that. So yeah, you just have to find out what works for you.
So how do y'all feel like people do that though? Like how do people find their thing when it comes to content? Because say they're trying something right now, but it hasn't worked yet. Do you think, oh, they should just keep on doing that thing, or try it themselves? Like, how do you feel like someone goes to find? How do you feel like someone goes about finding what their thing is when it comes to content, or that first thing that could possibly take off?
That's a good question.
I feel like, well, for me, I would say God helped me with my first ideas. Sure. Like the first stuff that started taking off, I feel like God gave me them ideas. So
that's true. Same thing for me. Like God told me to do public interviews. I remember I would be out there. I'm like, I do not know how to talk to people. So I would say God for sure. And also try multiple things at one time. Like I remember because I would say when I first started, it was literally with public interviews. So I'm trying to think. For sure, not being afraid to try new things and put yourself out there.
And I would say, I guess doing what feels right as well. Because I'm not going to lie, my first Get Ready With Me that I was doing, they didn't get a lot of like views or likes or anything like that. But I hadn't been on Instagram for a while. But I felt like, oh my God, this is good content. I feel like it's really good. And I kept doing it. And then once I finally did have a video go up, everyone started going back to those other videos. And they're like, oh, this is good. And now those videos are growing. But at first, I guess I wasn't in the algorithm yet. But I could have easily thought, oh, I did 2 Get Ready With Me's. No numbers. Let me stop doing them. When really it's just I hadn't reached the people yet, but it was good content. So I felt like if you really feel in your heart, this is good content, I would say don't stop that, because when you do have something that goes off, then people will have more good content to come back and find on your page.
For sure. You definitely have to have stuff for people to look at once your content does start to take off. Because I know for me with YouTube, it was the consistency that I was showing up that was making more people go and watch. Because my first video, thankfully, had got like 300 views on the first try. And I was like, oh, I should keep going with this.
Yeah.
And the first, the second video, it may not be as much views because it's not the first time that they're seeing this. But as they kept seeing me like, oh, he's uploading every week, let me go see what he's posting. That's what made people watch. And then I'm thinking from the aspect of just trying stuff. I definitely would say just try stuff, but also be intentional about watching stuff. So I noticed for me, when I started doing public interviews and stuff too, it wasn't really working in my favor for real. Like it was coming off, it was showing one side of me too much, like the whole like business and serious side. And it's like, that's not how I am. Like it wasn't resonating with the people that supports me. But when I started to do the creative stuff and then include the carousels of funny stuff in there, quotes and all of that, now it's like a formula almost. You have to find your formula through your content. What are the elements of your content that people like most and resonate with most? And that's how you bring them in. Through my stories, I post what I'm doing throughout the day. I may share something funny. And now that's letting people know like, oh, you got work ethic, but you also are, having fun at the same time and stuff. So you have to find that formula for your content. What does it look like? What is going to get people to engage? What is going to pull on people's heartstrings? What is going to pull on somebody to share? Because that's another thing. Sometimes we post stuff that only we care about, but most people in reality, they care about themselves. So what is it about what you're posting is going to make them care about what you're doing as well? And that's how I would say with your content, that's how you continue to find what you're doing.
That's real. I remember last year when I was starting to take my public interviews more seriously, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying about like God giving me the vision, Jada. I remember it, like he had told me to do that, and I was doing it. It's ties into basically what both of y'all said. I was doing it, but it was not doing well. Like I was being consistent. I was working hard. Like I'm talking about 3 months in, and I just wasn't seeing the fruits of my labor. And I remember just feeling like literally I wanted to give up because I'm like, this is not working. Like that, and that's what most people would do. I'm doing this for 3 months. It's not working. I need to do something else because it's not working, right?
Yeah.
But instead, I'm like, okay, I prayed to God, and God was like, just keep going. Week later, video goes up. So like, whatever you're posting that feels like, kind of like what Jada was saying, that feels like, okay, this is directly correlated to your brand, to your message, and it's different, and you have a vision for that content piece, continuously post it no matter how many views you get, no matter how many comments you get, no matter how many people are sharing. You have to believe in that vision for that content and that vision that God gave you so bad that no matter what you see, you're going to do it. Because that's honestly how it's like your whole social media journey. You're going to have your seasons where views are going to go down. You're trying to figure out what's next. It's like, do people even care about me anymore?
Yes.
That's literally how it's like your whole social media journey. But if you're going to give up every time there's a dip, you're never going to get to the level you want to get to. So yeah, continuously strive after that vision and continuously post that content, and people going to see it, twin.
Yeah, for sure. Part. Definitely. Last thing I'll say, niching down. Niching down on what it is who you're speaking to. If you're just speaking to anybody, then they're not able to resonate with you. You have to know your demographic. What is the people your age? Who's watching your content? Is it people the same age as you? Is it people older than you, younger than you? Know your demographic. Know what do they think? What time do they go to school or work? What time do they leave school and work? What time are they most active on social media? You have to know all of that stuff because it's a whirlwind of things that goes into creating your content. If you post something at 6 o'clock in the morning, that may not work for you. Whereas some people like E.T., he posted stuff at 4 in the morning and people be up tuning in because that's his demographic. But you have to know your kind of audience. Music artists, they release music at 12 a.m. and they know their audience is up waiting for them to drop that song. So they're tuning in, and you have to know all of the elements that goes into your formula and niching down into that.
That's good. I'll say that's something that actually made me procrastinate a little bit with posting content or my new content, because I'm thinking in my head, I know my audience. And I noticed that my content that I was creating, even though it was good, some of it was starting to attract a lot of like younger people. And younger people is not necessarily my audience for Jael. It's really women with money.
Yeah.
But not all younger people have money. So it's typically like 30s, 40s, like those are the people who buy my clothes. And so I'm thinking like, okay, I don't want to keep posting the same type of content because it's going to keep getting pushed in front of 20-year-olds. And that's not, I don't want Instagram to think that's who I'm targeting.
For sure.
And so I noticed though, I was like, okay, I'm going to try something different with my voiceovers, the storytelling that I'm doing now. And I was very intentional about the type of videos I use, how I talk, the music, all of that for those. And I've been seeing results from that. Literally every time I post one of those, so far I've had Fantasia stylist. He's interacted with a few of the posts. I got asked to do something for the BET Awards because of that post. Not only that, successful women and like millionaire women are interacting more in my comments now, like on those specific posts. And so it's like, okay, even though those posts haven't went like viral or anything yet, I know that one, I'm just now getting back into the consistency of posting, but I know, okay, this is doing the right thing. And once like one of them take off, it's going to get in front of all the right people. But I knew that I didn't want to keep creating the same content that was not going to get me in front of actual customers. Like just because all y'all 20-year-olds going to come and be like, oh my God, this is so inspiring, so cute. Y'all not about to buy no stuff. Nah, let me not do that. I do appreciate support for sure. But at the end of the day, it's a business. So my content needs to be attracting the right type of clients.
For sure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Content definitely has to attract the right people.
Exactly. So,
all right.
Yeah, this is good though. I feel like people are definitely able to get like some good gems from this, some good notes and whatnot for just content, and even like help them figure out what they could do on their next step in their content journey.
Yeah, definitely use social media as a tool, and know that, as you said, Jada, you can make a bang for your buck by posting on social media and keeping people at the keeping your brand at the front of people's minds just by posting. Because the same way we are building these brands, I know for us, we want our brands to be legacy brands and just have our brands at the forefront of people's minds. The same way people think about Apple, all the fast food chains and all of that stuff. That's what I desire to have for my brand.
For sure.
So,
a household brand.
Household name.
Yep.
That part.
For sure.
That part, y'all want to get into Make It Make Sense?
Let's do it.
To Make It Make Sense, where we give advice to young adults going through life.
We need a little jingle for that. Or we could just press a little button and it'd be like, make it make sense.
No, that would be cute though.
Yeah, a little jingle.
That would be cute.
Let's do it.
That would be cute.
Okay.
People would like that, bruh.
What's the Make It Make Sense question?
My phone dead. It's in the group message.
Okay, let's read it.
It wasn't dead when it was done at ringing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Make It Make Sense question is, which one?
Just pick one.
Yeah, either one.
Okay, how can you get more comfortable with being open with your community?
That's a good question for this topic episode.
For sure.
How can you get more
comfortable?
Get more comfortable with your community. Being open.
Like how we struggled at first with being open with each other. What do y'all feel like is what made y'all stop doing that? Like for y'all to want to start like sharing with even just us?
Time for sure, because I'm able to read characters, so I know if I can trust y'all or not. So time. I would say time is the main factor.
I agree. I would say time, and also being told like it's cool to open up. That was one thing.
I feel that. I think time. I'm trying to see. And then also, Oh, that was the other thing that kept me from talking. I thought y'all had everything 100% together.
Oh yeah, that was the same for me.
And so I was just like,
I was like, this one got 100,000 6-figure brand.
Right.
Yeah, you got a whole Christian brand. She know exactly what she doing.
I'm trying to figure out the first piece.
And so I think that was what kept me from opening up, thinking like, dang, I don't want to come to y'all as the person who don't have it together. And I'm thinking y'all got everything together.
Yeah.
And so I think once I realized, oh, okay, they go through stuff too. Or even, oh, we go through similar things, that made me more comfortable with like opening up to y'all. I know I still do want to like be more open with my church. But I feel still like there's like a little bit of a wall.
Do y'all hang out often?
No. Me and Christy are getting closer, which I appreciate. She be checking on me and stuff. And I could tell like it's genuine care. Like they be telling me like, girl, everyone here love you. Like but I don't know. I think in general when it comes to me opening up to people, I be in my head. But I see that, oh, these people want to be here for me. Even like struggling, opening up to my family. Like I was thinking about my cousins recently, and I was thinking, man, we used to be so close when I was little. And when I see them, it's still like, what's up? You know, da da da. But I was like, dang, they really have no idea of anything I've been through in the last year or so, year and a half. And I was just thinking, I remember when like we used to tell each other all this stuff, but it's like now I'm in a different state. So it's like, that's my community also. And I would love to be open with them. But I feel like, I don't know, I put up a wall and I be in my head. And so that's something I'm trying to work on more. But I think right now, y'all are the people I'm like most open with.
Yeah, for sure. At first, I perceived the question as community being the people on social media, but as Jada was talking, then it made it more clear. But the way that I've got comfortable with opening up with my community is just time, as you said, being able to read people. I'm not a person where I just immediately get cool with somebody and I start opening up telling you everything. Like I gotta really read you and see how you act in different circumstances. And so, yeah, I just open up to people that I feel I'm comfortable with. I feel like I open up to everybody. So it's kind of hard for me to explain because I feel like I'm a very, very transparent person. Yeah. And I'll just like air out all my business. Not all of it, but depending on who it is, or really just if I see you have good traits, I'll just open up like to anybody.
I'm not gonna lie. In the right circumstance, I agree. If I feel like, so when I have moments where I feel like, I don't know, I could be talking to a stranger. Yeah. Or something. And I know that something that I've been through could actually help that person. Like, say they're talking and I know I have some type of wisdom based off of my own life experience that could help them. Then the whole like wall thing goes away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, for me, it's kind of hard to say like, oh, how do I get comfortable? Because like, that's why even when some people be like, oh, don't tell all your business. It's like, well, there's nothing that nobody could say in public that I won't address myself. So that's how I look at it. And also one thing I was going to say is it's good to be comfortable to open up with your friends and family and your community of people that are there for you, because you don't want to go on social media just bleeding out and posting quotes and being emotional. And you know them people who just post every little thing that's going wrong in their life. And it's like, dude, please go get you some therapy or like talk to somebody. Like, why are you on social media? They'd be like, I'm unfollowing everybody. I don't mess with nobody on
with
here.
A black screen and a white text.
Go ahead.
This is not Kick.
With all of that. So yeah, I feel as though I'm a very transparent person, so I don't really struggle with just being comfortable and opening up.
I feel like for me, I'm kind of in the middle. Like some people, if I get good vibes from you, then I don't mind being transparent. But then it's like, I'm also not being super transparent. Like I'm comfortable to a sense. Like after that, it's like I'm not gonna just open my closet and tell you everything, you know? Because then it's like I don't like sometimes I be thinking, sometimes, sorry, I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah.
Sometimes I be thinking people like might use it against you or like, you know, stuff like that. And so, yeah.
And that's what,
well,
I was gonna say that's what I'd be looking at it like. If I already put it out there, how are you going to use it against me? That's how I'd be looking at it. But I do understand your point too.
Yeah, like throwing it back in your face in a way. You know?
Yes. Yeah. I've had that happen
like,
with people.
I tell you something and now we're in an argument and you throwing something I told you out of comfort. You know? It's like stuff like that. That's why I don't tell people everything. Like y'all, I'm going to tell y'all everything because I know y'all wouldn't do that because of the time we spent together. But if like we're talking about something and it's something, God's telling me to be transparent about something that might be able to help you, I don't mind. But I'm not just going to air out all my business.
Nah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So, okay, last thing I'll say, since you did bring up the social media thing, I guess how do y'all feel about being open and like transparent with like your Instagram audience or even YouTube or even like being really open on the podcast and stuff? Like, because that is, you made a good point, that is still another form of our community. So
I feel as though when you open up with your community on social media, some things aren't meant to be addressed. And that's where it differentiates for me. Like if it's in person and I'm talking to a person one-on-one or like amongst a group, I'm cool. But maybe not telling every single part of my business on social media just because I don't want people to like be able to pull up stuff and be like, oh, this you. Like, you know, like I don't want nobody to be able to do that. So I like to just wait until I get through the storm and then sometimes I'll share it. But through the podcast, being that I talk to y'all and I'm like comfortable, sometimes I'll be forgetting the camera is on.
I agree.
But on social media, as far as like Instagram and TikTok, I'll put a little more thought into what I'm about to say. But the podcast, sometimes I'll be like, dang, I wish that would have cut out.
I should not have said that.
So it differentiates from there. Like, podcast, I may slip up and say something just because I'm comfortable with y'all. But on Instagram and stuff, I'll be like, nah, you ain't got to share that right now. Wait until you get through whatever it is, then you can share it. Like when I was going through depression, you didn't really know too much besides you just saw 1 or 2 pictures get posted every 6 months. So that's how I would say I build community. And I did struggle with being myself on social media for a while now and being able to speak up and like say exactly how I feel on my Instagram and stuff. I used to struggle with that. But now I just look at it like, I mean, you following me, so you don't have to follow if you don't like what I'm posting.
No, that part.
I feel like it's the same for me. I feel like I'm going to be I feel like I'm starting to get more transparent now. Even like back when we first started the podcast, I was talking about being depressed and I was depressed in that moment. So I kind of feel like talking about things I go through in them, not everything, but some things, talking about things I'm going through on the camera, sometimes it helps me. Like that depression thing, I was talking about it. Like I was getting revelation as I was talking. I made a whole YouTube video, me talking about things is not good for me financially. And I was getting revelation. God was giving me revelation as I was recording that video. Yeah. So it's like some things I don't mind because I know it's somebody else. Like I be having the mindset, it's somebody else that is going through the same thing I'm going through. So I don't mind. So it's some things I will share like that. But then it's like, I'm not about to air out like family business. Or I'm not about to air out like
when I got evicted.
It's like stuff like that. I'm not about to air out. So like that moment when I was doing YouTube and like we had to move. I was not sharing that. I was in that hotel recording videos like nothing was going on. But now that I'm over it, it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now I feel like with our growing Painz family, I feel like I'm like very open. I feel like honestly, anybody who like feels like, oh, they follow me on Instagram and would like to actually get to know who I am, I feel like they should just watch the podcast.
No, for real.
Like,
that's the only way you're gonna get most of the information.
Yeah, because just things that I say, like how I think our last episode I talked about like the whole $8,000 in bills. I would not just go on Instagram and be like, y'all, $8,000 in bills just popped up. Like, no, for real. Like, I would not say that. Or how in the cringiest areas when I was like, I used to be a little gay. I'm not about to go on Instagram. I'm not about to go on Instagram.
Go ahead.
I would not say that. Or even just relationships that I talk about on here. I would never go on Instagram and say that. But I don't know. In my head, it's like, I feel like these are people, you know? Like, y'all are people.
It's like, y'all are community.
Exactly. So I feel like, and also because I'm talking to y'all, I feel some sort of comfort. But I think, on Instagram, I don't know. I just feel like so many people who are not in your community can consume your content. Like the people who are watching the podcast, I feel like they relate to us. They are a part of GP Crew. But people on Instagram, something could go viral on Instagram, and so many people that are not a part of your community or whatever, like completely feel opposite of how you feel or whatever. They could well, I feel like you're wrong, or I feel like you're this. I feel like
exactly.
I feel like it's just, it can go so much farther to people who are just not I don't know, in agreement or in alignment with you.
Like your stuff on the Explore page, now you get all these random opinions.
And I don't know, I feel like just with YouTube we get in front of, well, not our shorts, but our actual YouTube videos.
Let's talk about shorts, please.
It's like, don't come on these comments on the actual video.
Literally, like our actual YouTube videos, though, I feel like they get in front of the right people, so I feel more comfortable sharing. But yeah, social media, I think that if I was transparent more, I could grow more of a community on social media, especially with other women in their 20s and stuff. But I think I just get so in my head about still I don't know. It's I want it to be a secluded little community. I want it to be for the people who, I don't know, that is for.
The people that are resonating with the content.
Exactly. But you can't control who's seeing stuff with
I mean,
Instagram.
unless you make the page private.
True.
But it's
but I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I was going to say last thing. I was going to say that's why I be so self-conscious about getting on Twitter or Instagram and stuff. Because it's a wide range of people that can see that.
Yeah.
Whereas YouTube, if I post on my YouTube channel or if you see me on a podcast, it's you had to go out that one app and click on the video and choose to watch it.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit different.
Point.
Yeah,
I was literally gonna say that. It takes more effort to watch a YouTube video. It's longer.
That's a good. Point.
It's more it's more effort rather than just a quick reel you can swipe by. So people are just, and I guess that's why we tend to get more hater comments on short form content, because it's literally it's just somebody just swipe it through, so they don't even care about
no context.
But but a whole YouTube video, it's most likely people that's going to be following you already, that already knows of you, where they're taking the extra time to watch the full video.
That's real.
That's a good point.
Well, hopefully my self-consciousness goes down even more. I mean, I stopped caring so much about stories and stuff, but hopefully it continues.
Nah, for sure. I feel like I came a long way with that. I used to not even do I would never post myself talking.
You barely do that now. Say, no, I'm playing.
She just gave you the hardest eye roll ever.
I am comfortable with it now. I don't be talking on my Instagram.
On I am Jada Ellis, you'll hear a peep.
But you hear it on JL Official?
Yes.
Okay.
I used to have this feeling where I would be so scared to post on Instagram. You post and you run out the room.
Bro, I used to literally scroll through the IG stories like this, trying to halfway look.
Exactly.
Because I would get so much anxiety about seeing Yanni Brasher 99. Looking. I'm oh, she saw my story? What is she thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I used to always think Instagram is the place you have to be perfect at. You can't post no flaws. The video got to be perfect.
Bro,
you can't talk yourself. I don't want to post. I used to be the same way. I don't want to post me talking this is the perfect holy place.
Literally.
It's you got to post a nice picture and just leave.
Exactly.
Bro, I remember I was trying to do post something in my story, a video of me talking, just saying I'm going to go take pictures today.
And you deleted it?
I recorded that video 50,000 times. And I saved all of them. I still have them on my phone. And I'm changing how my voice sounded in each one. I'm changing lingo I'm using.
No, it be like that.
Literally trying so many different things, and I just said, forget this. Like, bro, I hate it. Like, it was just so hard for me to be myself. But now I can show up on Instagram as myself.
Have y'all ever seen a post? Have y'all ever seen a post that be like, oh, when your French sibling go missing, but you're trying to maintain your mysterious person on Instagram, and they're asking you to repost?
Bro, bye. Good.
Bruh. Oh, that's real. Well, that was the episode. We appreciate it. Let us know social media is that y'all face. What are y'all working to grow y'all social media platforms? What tips, what things have been working for y'all? And yeah, let us know all of that stuff in the comments about your social media journey.
That part.
And speaking of social media, make sure y'all follow us. Growing Painz Pod with don't forget the Z on Instagram and TikTok. And then stream on Apple Podcasts and Spotify on audio experiences. And y'all can follow me, Yanni Bradsher, and support my clothing brand Wise Label and support the brand. I got another shirt sent to me. What's his Instagram? Exclusive?
Oh,
is it exclusive?
I thought she was going to X what's his name.
Hold on, let me.
It's exclusive. The E's in
a
exclusives is a 3. And it's exclusive with a Z at the end.
Shout out to CJ. His brand is
CJ.
Embody.3 exclusive and 3 for the after the VZ. So
that's how it was when I was wearing it.
it's kind of long, but really dope brand. I love this shirt. I love the way it's like fitted. Like I like the boxy cut. Really dope design. So y'all go support that boy.
For sure.
And if y'all got some merch, you know, send it to me.
Send it this way, please.
Same.
Send it to Jada too.
Exactly.
We need that merch. We'll support you.
Right.
Low sponsorship. That's a low sponsor technically.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all can follow me at Roy Trevion. You can follow my creative agency, Roy T Made It. Make it a habit to get you a graphic. Let's get it.
And y'all can follow me at Jayo Official on Instagram, and my main is at I am Jada Ellis.
We're out. Bye.
Bye.
Hasta la vista.